everybody, I'm back, and I promised you I would tell you exactly how I felt the lump in my breast. So in the last video I told you that I just had a baby girl. She's 3 months old, and so I was still breastfeeding and pumping every day. And after I finished one of my pumping sessions, I found this lump in my right breast, and it stood out. You know, it was pretty solid, and I was like, what is this? And because, you know, and other mothers will understand that breastfeed, when you breastfeed, you know, you touch your breast every day, you're very in tune with what your breasts feel like. And so because of that, I knew it wasn't milk, you know, and so I was like, well, this is odd, you know, this doesn't feel, you know, like anything that should be in my breast. And so I was like, okay, well, it just so happened I had a sinus infection that week anyway. So I was like, well, let me go to the doctor and get him to look at both. So I went to the doctor, and it was actually she checked out my sinus infection, and then she checked out. I said, hey, while I'm here, can you look at this lump in my breast? She was like, sure. So she felt it, you know, without any problem. You have to dig to find it or nothing. It was there. And she said, I can't really tell what it is, so do you mind having an ultrasound? And I was like, sure. You know, I didn't even know they did ultrasounds on anywhere else on your body other than when you had a baby. So, I don't know, maybe I was just naive to that part of it. But I was like, ultrasound, okay. So, they did the ultrasound. They scheduled me for an ultrasound, and they spotted the lump right away. And, you know, they couldn't really tell, you know, from the ultrasound what it was. So, they said, do you mind if we do a mammogram? Like, sure. They was like, you never had a mammogram, huh? I was like, I haven't. You know, I thought you wait to get 40 to get those. So they're like, well, you're going to have one today. So I was like, okay. So they did the mammogram. But after that, they said, you know what? You're going to have a biopsy so we can tell exactly if it's benign or if it's cancer. I was like, okay, never had a biopsy before. They said, can you come back tomorrow for that? I was like, wow, this is going really fast. Sure. And so came back the next day for the biopsy. And what they did was they actually made a small incision in my breast. And they stuck a needle down to the tumor to take samples from the tumor to send off for testing. And then the pathologist would tell if it's actually cancer or not. So they said we should have the results, you know, in 2 or 3 days. It only took 2 days. They called me, and, you know, I could tell in her voice that something wasn't right. And she just said, you know, I'm so sorry to tell you, but it came back cancer. I was like, are you sure? She was like, yeah, you know, we're pretty sure. And she went into a few details, but she was like, you know what? I prefer to do this, you know, kind of stuff in person. So when you get back, you know, we'll go over everything in more details. So I'm on my way to a doctor's appointment, a very important doctor's appointment. It's my first one since I found out that I have breast cancer. So they are going to go over my treatment options and I guess, you know, more details about the type of breast cancer that I have. I'm gonna meet my mom and my husband there, so definitely got a strong support system. And so yeah, excited to, you know, get started and fight this cancer. So we'll see how it goes. Definitely. The doctor pretty much said the type of breast cancer you have is called invasive ductal carcinoma. They said it's stage 2. The reason why it's stage 2 is because of the size of the tumor, and from what they can see, it appears that it has hit one of your lymph nodes. All right, well, I just finished talking to people at the hospital, and it's not good. You know, at least I have a chance to live, so that's good. But I do have to have chemo and surgery, so not looking forward to that. Thanks, babe. So tell me, how have you felt throughout this entire process?
A lot of it has been very quick, so you hardly even have time to process how you feel. I would definitely say the word devastated came to mind first. You do feel a little bit powerless and helpless because these are things that are happening that for the most part you couldn't even really prevent, and now that it has happened, there's not too much that you can do without the assistance of the medical profession and things of that nature. So I know at distinct times, I think I shared this with one of my friends I was talking to, is that the first thing after being devastated is, as a husband, I know I kind of wish, why her and why not me? Because it's almost easier to process when it's happening to you than when it's happening to, someone that you love. So I know those were my initial feelings, is devastation and really wishing that we could have swapped places. But unfortunately, things don't work that way. So now I just want to support you in any way I can and make sure your spirits stay high as we fight this thing and take it head on and knock it out. And, grow old together, raise these babies and all that good stuff. That's it.
Thanks, babe.
You're welcome.
So, I guess that's it for vlog number two. I will do another one. Am I in focus now? I think I am. So I will do another one. What is going on? Huh? So that's it for our first episode because the kids, so that's it for the second episode because the kids are getting restless. So stay tuned. I will tell you about my first chemo treatment. And there is
The little lamb that makes noise. Go get that and bring that to me. Okay.
So that's it for the second episode. The kids are getting restless and they need to go to bed. So next time I'll be telling you about my first chemo treatment. So stay tuned. Bye, y'all.